Hello and welcome to another inspiring episode of Diaspora Network, where we celebrate Nigerians making remarkable strides around the world. I'm Teniola Oyetayo. On today's program, it's all about real estate. We highlight Nigerians in the diaspora who have achieved significant success in the property industry. Plus, we hear from Yemi Edun, a London property expert and founder of Daniel Ford International, a property search and acquisition consultancy. He speaks to us about his journey into the London real estate industry, the challenges he faced, and how he's given back to Nigeria. But before all that, let's get up to speed on the latest news from the diaspora.
Nigerian-born politician Abigail Marshall Katung was recently sworn in as the 130th Lord Mayor of Leeds City in England, making her the first African and Nigerian to occupy this prestigious title. The Kaduna State native is wife to Nigerian Senator Sunday Marshall Katung, who will now serve as the Lord Mayor Consort. Katung moved to the UK in 2000, where she pursued a master's degree in development studies at the University of Leeds. Her time at Leeds City Council started in 2019, when she became a representative and the lead member for Black, Asian and minority ethnic groups. Over the years, she has overseen many initiatives including hate crime, education, public health and advocating for faith and belief communities. On the social media platform LinkedIn, she wrote, "This milestone is not just a personal achievement, but a collective celebration of the spirit and support of the wonderful people of Leeds, as well as my cherished friends and family." Greek-Nigerian basketball player Yannis Antetokounmpo was named one of the world's highest-earning athletes according to Forbes magazine. Despite his recent leg injury, the Milwaukee Bucks star has also donned the 2023-24 season's All-NBA First Team, a prestigious accolade celebrating the league's top players for their exceptional performances, and Yannis has made the title for the 6th year in a row. Off the court, Yannis has been making waves in the media world. In January, he launched Improbable Media, a production and brand consulting company aimed at creating diverse and inspiring content. The company's first major project was the biopic Yannis the Marvelous Journey, which premiered during the All-Star Weekend in February.
Yannis has come a long, long way ever since drafted 15th overall in 2013. But Yannis's impact as a leader became full-blown in 2021 when he led the Milwaukee Bucks to their first title since 1975, I believe it was. Yannis is sort of a pop culture icon right now. Yannis is such a lovable guy. He's not the guy who shies away from public appearances. He signs autographs everywhere he goes. He cracks jokes with people. His brother Thanasis has a big podcast going on in Milwaukee. Yannis makes appearances. He's not just one of the best players in the world. He's won an NBA title. He's an 8-time All-Star. He's a 2-time MVP. And the list goes on. And I don't even think we've seen the very best of Yannis just yet.
On the 12th of May, British-Nigerian middleweight boxer Sherif Lawal tragically died after collapsing during a fight with a Portuguese fighter, Malam Varela, at the Harrow Leisure Centre. Sherif's trainer quickly rushed to his aid, while doctors and paramedics administered CPR for up to 15 minutes. Lawal was reportedly rushed to Northwich Park Hospital, where he was pronounced dead shortly after, citing a cardiac arrest. The 29-year-old began sparring in 2018. Last year, the boxer competed in the National Elite Championships before turning professional earlier this year. He trained at St Pancras Amateur Boxing Club, where he was described as a real inspiration to all the young boxers in the gym. The fight's promoter told journalists that his sympathies go out to Sherif's family and that he was a great boxer and man.
From pioneering developers to leading property consultants, Nigerians are making significant impacts in the global real estate industry. In our special report this week, we explore some of their achievements.
Real estate is a dynamic and diverse industry that plays a crucial role in the economy, housing market, and investment landscape. It provides shelter, facilitates business operations, and generates investment opportunities. However, just like other industries, real estate ownership and investment involve several factors and hazards such as market conditions, property location, financing, and property management. Navigating this complex landscape can be challenging, but with an understanding of the intricacies of the market, real estate professionals are helping individuals and organizations traverse these complexities while earning a reputable career for themselves. From pioneering developers to leading property consultants, many Nigerians are making significant impact in the global real estate industry. Nigerian-born US-based real estate investor Joseph Nantoma, popularly known as the Black Mentor, owns 16 businesses, including a real estate empire and Mentor America, a premier coaching company dedicated to providing high-quality life and business coaching. Since its founding, Mentor America has impacted over 500,000 persons worldwide. His entrepreneurial and philanthropic exploits earned him recognition from several institutions, including the Presidential Honors Rolls from former U.S. President Donald Trump. Dr. Nantoma was born and raised in Borokiri, Port Harcourt, the River State capital, and moved abroad in 2016. Another award-winning real estate entrepreneur is Isaac Olowolafe Jr. He founded Dreammaker Ventures, a Toronto-based early-stage venture firm that primarily invests in early-stage tech companies. He operates multiple divisions, including a brokerage, real estate development, wealth management, property management, education, private equity, and insurance. Isaac is a recipient of the Harry Jerome Business Award, Enterprise Business Award by Planet Africa, Arbor Award from the University of Toronto, Public Service Award from the Transformation Institute for Leadership and Innovation, and Toronto Board of Trade Award, among several others. UK real estate developer and philanthropist Sami Adegoke is passionate about changing the narrative of ownership while giving back to community. He is the CEO of Rehoboth Property Group. The company aspires to be one of the foremost property groups with focus on education and knowledge dissemination for the purpose of creating generational wealth and making spaces where businesses and individuals can network and thrive. Adegoke was awarded Property Developer of the Year in 2022 and Entrepreneur of the Year in 2021 by UK Property Investors Awards. With outstanding leadership, creativity, and entrepreneurial spirit, these and many more Nigerians are flying the country's flag in the global real estate industry.
As always, we've been following the activities of the Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission as they continue to engage citizens living abroad through various programs. Take a look.
Chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa, bags the Champion Newspaper's 2023 Excellence in Service Award. The award was presented to her by the NDLEA Chairman, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, at a ceremony in Victoria Island, Lagos, in recognition of her outstanding global advocacy for the diaspora community. In a separate event, the NIDCOM boss applauds the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Housing Authority for his commitment to ensuring that Diaspora City Project Plan is realized in the 36 states and the FCT. Mrs. Dabiri Erewa gave the commendation when she led NIDCOM management and staff to the Federal Housing Authority headquarters in Abuja.
Nigerians in the diaspora are very excited about that in every state of Nigeria and Abuja and Lagos there will be diaspora cities. It doesn't mean, it's not any kind of segregation, it's just to show that we care about the diaspora. Now, one of the biggest problems of the diaspora is that they send money home to build houses. They want to own their own homes in Nigeria, and they get frustrated along the way. So when NIDCOM came on board, we felt one of the things to do was to help solve that problem. So that wherever you are, in the comfort of your homes, in your comfort of wherever you are, but you can own your own homes in Nigeria. So we're a step closer to achieving that now. We thank you, dear MD, for all you have been doing in that regard. So we just, we'll talk more about that, the modalities, and then we'll move on. But we'll tell you a bit about our activities. In the relationship with your ministry, we have the mortgage scheme, which is being championed by the minister himself. It started when he was MD of Federal Mortgage Bank. So we have the Diaspora Mortgage Scheme, which will take off. I think we have 2 more months for it to take off. So of course we have the Diaspora Housing Scheme under FHA, under your leadership, which Nigerians in the diaspora can directly own either their land or properties through working with you and the commission. Now, one of the first things we did was to have a diaspora policy. When we worked with the International Organization for Migration, so we have a diaspora policy that should guide all diaspora engagements, which includes having a diaspora desk in every MDA. So I think all of us are diaspora desk in FHA. So and it engages relevant MDAs and all that. So this policy covers everything about diaspora engagement. That's the first thing we did.
Now let's turn our focus to our guest this week, Yemi Edun, a Nigerian-born London property expert who has broken barriers in the industry. His company, Daniel Ford International, is one of London's leading property acquisition consultancies and has been responsible for millions of pounds in property transactions. Moving to the United Kingdom from Nigeria, Yemi Edun initially pursued a career in information technology. However, he soon discovered a passion for property and in 2003 founded Daniel Ford, which has grown into one of London's leading property acquisition consultancies. The company has facilitated the acquisition of over £700 million worth of property for its clients and has received multiple accolades, including the Times Letting Agency Award for Property Management Agency of the Year in 2012. Yemi Edun set up London's first paperless estate agent office in 2019 and has been named in the Power List, a list of the most influential people of Afro-Caribbean heritage in the United Kingdom for the years 2022, 2023 and 2024. A list of the most influential people of Afro-Caribbean heritage in the United Kingdom for the past 3 years. Daniel Ford has not only excelled in property acquisition, but has also provided valuable employment and internship opportunities for young people in London. Yemi frequently conducts property workshops and seminars and is a regular guest on popular TV property shows such as My Dream Home and Homes Under the Hammer on the BBC. Passionate about philanthropy, Yemi has played a key role in financing and acquiring church buildings for local communities. For 6 years, he sponsored the Central St. Martin's postgraduate auction, raising over £200,000 for students. In 2020, he established Action for Change and Empowerment, an NGO dedicated to supporting noble causes across Africa, including aiding small and medium-sized entrepreneurs and providing wheelchairs for the mobility impaired.
I look for ways of adding value to the community, be it here or in Nigeria. So we have a charity that gives back. We created a platform for Nigerians in the UK and friends of Nigeria to give back, and we've done over 3,000 wheelchairs in that regard. We're going to give out 250 in June. So we work with local charities in Nigeria for that purpose. In December, Daniel Ford sponsored the first Daniel Ford Youth Table Tennis Championship in Nigeria, under 15 and under 19 boys and girls. Our champion is already the national champion now and the West African champion. So it's not just about the bank balance, it's about value, because what I share with my team is that no one would remember the estate agents that traded in London 500 years ago, but people will remember the value individuals give or add to the community.
Drawing from his diverse experiences, Yemi also authored The #1 Mission, a book that explores the legacy of the Nigerian High Commission in the United Kingdom, its history, relevance to Nigeria, and the importance of diplomacy for any nation. When we return after a quick break, Yemi Edun shares insights into building a successful global company and giving back home through his organization. Please stay with us. So I kind of want to begin with how you got into the property market. Looking at, I don't know, 10-year-old Yemi Edun, is this something that you thought that you would be doing, and when did it kind of click for you?
Well, the 10-year-old had no clue, really. You know, growing up, you'd always look up to your mentors, your role models, from liking the way some people spoke, dress, conduct themselves. My first role model would be my dad. He was into enterprise. But when I moved to England, the opportunity presented itself, and I've been able to grow up as someone that people trusted, you know, for little things, but I never knew it would translate into the means of livelihood or the industry I will find myself. Because for you to entrust someone on probably one of the most expensive acquisition anyone would ever make in life, which is a London property, trust is a very important parameter in dealing with people.
I mean, about 30 years in the industry now. What are some of the challenges you faced along the way, and how did you overcome them?
There are various challenges, you know. Some are totally not from the outside. It might even be from yourself. Are you prepared for the terrain? You know, because you must review yourself before, you know, casting aspersions at people. But one of the biggest challenges we faced as a business, as an acquisition business, is the fact that, you know, people question. Because in the UK, traditionally, estate agents are what people deal with. But in our case, we wear the hat of representing the buyer. So it's a case that you do this, why should we pay you? You know, but increasingly people now understand what an acquisition agent does, which is represent the buyer, whereas the estate agent represents the seller. So we are the highs of people, some high net worth individuals, busy lifestyle in the UK, they don't have the time or the know-how to go around, you know, and we've been able to do this over the years. Now, it is not totally out of place to find people introducing themselves as acquisition agents. But the early days, it was really strange and unique.
You're so heavily involved in Nigeria, just looking around your office and seeing the pictures with, you know, many Nigerian figures. Just looking at Nigeria's real estate market, what are your thoughts on it when you compare it with your experience in the UK?
Well, I still have strong ties with Nigeria. You can see that I recently wrote a book on the Nigerian High Commission in the UK, the #1 mission. But in terms of real estate, the Nigerian market is a resilient market. It's a time-tested market as well. However, Nigeria mirrors Britain because of the colonial ties. But there are some lessons to be learned, one of which is the seamlessness of a UK transaction because of the regulation. All property transactions have to go through a conveyancer in the UK. And what that gives the buyer is the assurance that they are buying from the right source and the property gets registered in the land registry as soon as possible. So it becomes bankable. You know, why mortgages have not been as popular in Nigeria is because it takes too long to register titles, you know. So you might have an asset that is not really living up to that tag because you cannot exchange it for money, you cannot release equity from it, you know. But the Nigerian market is growing, and another thing that I like about the UK is the fact that when you're building units of 10 and more, you have to give something back to the community in, which is the Section 106. You can't have a highbrow area that doctors, nurses, teachers cannot afford to reside in that neighborhood, So when you're building 10 and more units, you have to make provision for these key workers. And I think that's something Nigeria can replicate, because you don't want a banana island of all Novo Rich without the key workers that will serve their children, serve the community in one way or the other.
And I also want to talk a bit more about your relationship with Nigeria. Like you mentioned, you recently wrote a book. I'm just interested in why the importance of, your connections to Nigeria and what else you do to, keep with your Nigerian roots.
Nigeria has a large community in the UK. The numbers are not clear because you have second, third generation, you have Nigerians that have not really visited Nigeria, but they still relate to the culture. I look for ways of adding value to the community, be it here or in Nigeria. So we have a charity that gives back. We created a platform for Nigerians in the UK and friends of Nigeria to give back, and we've done over 3,000 wheelchairs in that regard. We're going to give out 250 in June. So we work with local charities in Nigeria for that purpose. Since this is a diaspora platform, I will let this out for the first time. We have a prodigy, 11-year-old chess whiz kid, Deborah Quickpen, that Daniel Ford has been supporting, and we've been able to agree a charity match between herself and Tunde Onokoya, the gentleman that just broke the Guinness World Record. And that will be coming up in Lagos, 11th of June. So this has never been done for chess before in Nigeria. But we love that space. We love the cognitive influence that chess gives the player, and which would inspire younger ones, seeing an 11-year-old that is already the national champion of chess in Nigeria. In December, Daniel Ford sponsored the first Daniel Ford Youth Table Tennis Championship in Nigeria, under 15 and under 19 boys and girls. Our champion is already the national champion now and the West African champion. So it's not just about the bank balance, it's about value, because what I share with my team is that no one would remember the estate agents that traded in London 500 years ago, but people will remember the value individuals give or add to the community.
And, on that note of helping others, what advice would you give to, other Nigerians hoping to succeed, not just in the property market, but in other global business landscape?
For anyone thinking of going into business, the advice I would give them is they should try and integrate. It's not good enough to only do things amongst your own. Try and integrate and excel in what you do, so that there are no limitations. If you're really a problem solver, people will come to you. Nobody would look at you or where you're from or the way you speak if you are. No one goes to the hospital picking the nationality of their surgeon. They want to be treated by the best individual or medic in there. So just try and be the best and carve a niche for yourself.
Yemi Edun, thank you so much for taking out time to speak to us on Diaspora Network. And that's a wrap on another inspiring episode of Diaspora Network. Remember, you can find more insightful stories of Nigerians making their mark on the global stage on our YouTube channel and website, channelstv.com. Until next time, I'm Teniola Oyetayo. Bye for now.